Your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
Nice.
One more day until freedom. Here we go, 9:02. It's a Thursday morning, RiverBender.com. CJ Nolla, it's our daily show, and we got a busy one for you. We're going to be talking to Lee Cox in about 18 minutes, but who's counting? Because this weekend, tomorrow, I'm freaking out. I feel like I'm going to hold my own, but I'm kind of nervous. We have Elephant's Graveyard. I'm making my acting debut with Alton Little Theater. Lee Cox called me a couple of months ago, and she said, CJ, you know, you've always talked about it on the show with me. Will you be able to fill in for this part? And I said, sure, thinking, you know, I'd be a tree. No, I got some speaking lines in this. So we'll see how averagely I can perform on Friday, and Lee will be giving us the latest on that. Then Luis Nolla will call us at 9:40. We'll get some St. Louis sports updates and some really interesting notes coming from the Cardinals. He's been in the clubhouse the last couple of weeks. We're going to be also talking to Senior Services Plus at 10:10. Then at 10:35, Slurped Daquiri, C-Rations Grub, because they just partnered up, and they got a grand opening coming down the pipeline because Slurped Daquiri, C-Rations Grub, they're now at Eastgate Plaza together. So all that comes down the pipeline and more today on this 25th day of January. But right now, as it sits, it's 9:03, and it's time for us to take a look at what's happening around the Riverbend. Make sure you sign up for your daily email update where you can join myself and, 70,000 people that are truly in the know each and every day of the work week and on Saturdays with around the Riverbend. We will take you to Alton first. Dalton Brown reporting on City Council. A Formula One Powerboat Championship race is moving forward on the Alton Riverfront following approval from city officials at their meeting on Wednesday. The unanimous vote to approve followed a presentation from Corey Job, the president and CEO of the Great Rivers and Routes Tourism Bureau. He shared details and insights into the powerboat race and its potential economic impact on Alton and on the surrounding areas. Here's his quote, "I'm here speaking tonight in support of the ordinance in front of you to bring the F1 Powerboat Championships to the Alton Riverfront this summer in June." Job said at the meeting, adding that the city hasn't had an event like this since the early 1990s. The last event, F1 Powerboat Championship, held in the region was in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, which saw about 40,000 spectators generate $4 million over the course of a weekend, including lodging, sales tax, and more. Job estimates Alton would bring in about half of that amount of spectators in revenue, estimated about 20,000 spectators to generate over $2 million. While Job gave rough estimates of the event's economic impact, more detailed budget information was not available for city officials to review at Wednesday's meeting. However, he announced Great Rivers and Routes would contribute $20,000 towards this event and would also handle the promotion and advertising, an additional value of approximately $10,000. Director of Park and Recreation Department Michael Haynes suggested the city contribute $60,000 to $100,000 to get the event organizers to come to the city and accommodate certain requirements, such as the purchase of a new portable boat docks, which he said could later be repurposed at Gordmore Park when the event isn't taking place. Other incidental costs may include EMTs, portable bathrooms, and possible private security force to supplement the Alton Police Department if the department doesn't have the adequate staff to work the event. While Haynes suggests the city planned to commit $60,000 to $100,000. He and Job added that the final cost could be much lower once sponsorships have been secured for the event. Alderman John Meehan raised the question of the river flooding, to which Job responded that they've been in constant contact with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and Coast Guard, both of whom are 100% on board with the championship event being held on the Alton riverfront. However, if the river were to flood on the weekend of the event, it would most likely not be rescheduled later the same year due to the championship's strict schedule. To find out more about the F1 Powerboat Championship proposal, you can find more related stories on RiverBender.com. And for the City Council meeting last night, that's available at RiverBender.com/video. Also in the news, out of Godfrey, due to lack of use with the winter weather, the Village of Godfrey yard waste dumpster site on Stamper Lane will be closed after January 30th. A press release will be shared this spring when it reopens to Godfrey residents. Any stickers you may have already purchased will still be valid when the site does reopen. CITYSC reporting out of Edwardsville that Edwardsville Township recently sponsored a community briefing about mental health. Attendees learned about local resources and organizations that can support people who live with or who have a loved one with a mental health disorder. Deborah Humphrey, the Madison County Mental Health Board's executive director, explained that the board is, quote, a community mental health authority that helps fund providers and services throughout the county. Annually, the board funds 14 to 16 providers and more than 30 mental health, substance use, or developmental disability services. Agencies apply for funding through the board every year. Humphrey noted the main issue has remained the same over the past few years. Stigma and opioid use are two major concerns. The board is also focused on children's behavioral health, as more kids seem to be struggling than ever before. According to recent surveys, 42% of students at Edwardsville High School self-identified as having thoughts of depression, anxiety, or even suicide. The board hopes to help more students become certified in teen mental health first aid, and they're promoting additional services in these schools. There were 44 deaths by suicide in Madison County last year, and the board wants to see these numbers decrease as much as possible. You can visit the Madison County Mental Health Board webpage for more information about what they do or if you need to find any of those resources to get help. Sergeant Brian Masters with the Illinois State Police did speak about mental health training and officer wellness. He noted that he spent years working with some of the most upsetting cases, and it has been beneficial for him and his officers to learn more about mental health. For a full recap of the Edwardsville Township meeting in its entirety, it's available at RiverBender.com/news. And for more information about Edwardsville Township in general, you can visit EdwardsvilleTownship.com. That's EdwardsvilleTownship.com. Dan Brannon bringing us the latest over a sad situation yesterday morning at 7:40 a.m. on Wednesday, January the 24th. The Alton Police Department responded to Clark Bridge after it was reported a male subject was potentially in crisis. A quote from Police Chief Jarrett Ford: officers arrived and located a 33-year-old male standing on the ledge of the bridge threatening to jump. Patrol officers assisted by an Alton Police certified crisis negotiator spoke to the individual for approximately an hour and a half, at which time the individual agreed to come back over the rail to safety. Chief Ford said officers provided him with transportation to a mental health facility for treatment. His final quote: southbound bridge traffic was diverted during the situation but has since been reopened. That's what he told us at the time. 988 is the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline if you are in crisis and need someone and need those resources. 988. Out of Highland, the Prairie Heart Foundation is proud to host Powered by Prairie, a walk and health education event on February the 16th. That will run from 5 to 7:30 p.m. at Cordy Recreation Center at 11 Nagel Drive in Highland. You can get powered up as you and your loved ones walk your way to a healthy heart. This low-impact, high-fun event for all ages includes a variety of activities to fuel your heart-healthy journey, along with prize drawings throughout the morning. Representatives from local HSHS hospitals will be at the event providing health information and education. You can register by going to prairieheart.org. That's prairieheart.org/walk to register today. It's $20 per person and includes Prairie t-shirt and the participant's choice of either a ball cap or a cooling towel. Dan Brandon reporting out of Alton. Alton band director Blake Cordy has announced several students represented at his high school at the recent SIUE Bi-State Concert Band Festival. Cordy congratulated the students who participated. Here's his quote: "It's quite an honor to participate as a record number of applicants, over 300, applied this year." Dalton Brown reporting out of Edwardsville. 3 individuals from around Madison County have been charged with battery over the recent weeks, according to court filings, which details several cases of battery, domestic battery, and additional charges filed. Ashley E. Harvey, 42, listed as homeless, was arrested by the East Dalton Police Department and charged with 1 count of battery and 1 count for an offense relating to motor vehicles, according to court documents. On December the 24th, Harvey allegedly caused bodily harm to a victim by biting them on the arm and possessed a vehicle that she allegedly knew was stolen. Harvey faces a Class 2 felony for the stolen vehicle charge and a Class A misdemeanor for battery. Court documents indicate that she was released upon signature of conditions of pretrial release order. Kyle T. Best, 40 years of age, of Edwardsville, was charged with 1 count of domestic battery by the Edwardsville Police Department. According to court documents, Best knowingly caused bodily harm to a family or household member after Best struck the victim with a chair, causing injury. On January the 12th, Best had previously been charged with violating an order of protection. Madison County court records detail an extensive criminal history for Best dating back to 2001, including several domestic battery charges, DUIs, trespassing violations, and much more. Best faces 1 Class 4 felony for the domestic battery charge, which was upgraded from a Class A misdemeanor due to this being his 2nd subsequent offense. Court documents indicate he was ordered to be remanded to jail until his initial appearance in court. Finally, Casey J. Hunt, 43, of Collinsville, was charged by Collinsville Police Department with 1 count of battery and 1 count of unlawful restraint on January the 16th, 2024. According to court documents, Hunt, quote, caused bodily harm to the victim in that said defendant bit on the arm. She also allegedly detained the same victim without legal authority. Hunt faces a Class 4 felony for the unlawful restraint and a Class A misdemeanor for battery. Court documents indicate that she was released upon her signature of conditions of pretrial release order. The issuance of charges is based solely upon probable cause, never an indication of guilt, and please note that all subjects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Before we take a quick break, let's take a look at weather. 36 degrees, but that dense fog advisory is going to run until 12 noon today. Temperatures will reach, about 44 degrees today. They're going to stay right in the middle 40s, drop down to 35 overnight as we head into Friday. We do have a 90% chance of precipitation all day. I do get paid to do this job. Today, dense fog and damp this morning, periods of rain this afternoon, a couple of evening showers. Otherwise, low clouds and just more fog. Coming up on Friday, that high of 45, a low of 35. On Saturday, a 91% chance of rain. 42 for the high, 35 for the low. It's also Lee Cox's birthday on Saturday. And on Sunday, the 28th, which is my birthday, we're birthday friends, 40 degrees for the high. Lee Cox is sitting out in the studio. 29 for the low, and an 8% chance of precipitation. But you know what's also in the forecast for this weekend? Elephant's Graveyard by George Brandt. I mean, this is going to be a really fun performance at Alton Little Theater. We're all working really, really hard, and we're coming together, and we're going to pull this out, and you're going to be really entertained. This is really powerful, and not the performance you'd really expect. I mean, when I kind of showed up and was auditioning, I thought, well, this is going to be really enjoyable, and it is. But man, the powerfulness of this performance is what gets you. It's serious. I mean, this is based on a true story about how a small town, Erwin, Tennessee, really did hang an elephant, and the impact that had, and the reflection on it afterwards. It's really powerful. It's a unique performance, and I highly encourage you to come see it. And we're going to talk more about it here in a few. But bigly, the 10th of February. Best of the best country love. Lee Cox is smiling out in that room over there because 7:30 p.m., a dozen artists will perform their favorite country love songs of all time as a special Valentine's Day treat, and Alton Little Theater volunteers will whip up the libations that say love y'all. Sunday, February the 11th at 2 p.m., there's a matinee, but those always go quick. Tickets are $25, and on the 10th, that Saturday night at 7:30, a perfect date night opportunity, and then afterwards go swing by Grab a nice bite to eat at one of our local restaurants and call it a win of a Valentine's Day. That's the best of country love. And it happens February 10th, February 11th. And for more information, altonlittletheater.org or call the box office at 618-462-3205. Is it time to buy, sell, or even time to consider a short sale of your property? Meet Lisa Webb, owner of 3rd Street Realty. This local, women-owned, family-operated realty group has over a decade of experience in foreclosures, first-time home buying, and so much more. 3rd Street Realty prides themselves on holding your hand through the entire process. Let their expertise guide you to your dream home. Visit 3rdstrealty.com and start your journey with Lisa Webb today.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today. Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ. like talking to her through the wall while you guys. Lee Cox, we are.
And we're even birthday twins. Mine's Saturday and yours is Sunday. All right, I'll split my cake. I'll give you half my cake. I don't need the whole thing.
I'll give you half of mine, too.
Okay. Okay.
So this is really fun. I'm excited. Actor Studio Series is finally wrapping up.
Yes.
And it's what I think, before we go into the deep dive, Lee, is that Alton Little Theater never stopped because production was going on. I mean, to see Kevin out there with 4-poster and, I mean, a nice bedroom.
And you know the ultimate sin, because of Country Love, the football game starts at 5:30. So I told him he couldn't start his tech dinner until 4. But I offered, cook steak, lobster bisque, the whole thing. And he goes, but I'm going to miss the game. And I said, but you could tape it. Apparently, that was something you never say to somebody who loves football. See, I just didn't get it. I was like, but I'm having filet mignon. And he's like, but I'm missing the football game.
Well, I can just see Kevin now doing it, groveling about it, walking around.
Well, and he set up the entire set, and now he has to put it away tonight after they rehearse because we have a show tomorrow.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Oh, and my living room is full of his stuff for 4-poster, just full. But there's no way I'm bringing it in right now. Because
no.
I don't know where we'd put it.
I'm excited for 4-poster, but
But we have a few things going on before.
We got to talk about some stuff. Actor Studio Series as a whole, has it been pretty productive for you?
Yes, I mean, I knew that it might have a smaller attendance than our main stage shows because people aren't familiar, and people do love rom-coms and musicals, and they want to laugh and escape, particularly in the winter. But I felt this was really important to do, to allow a number of actors to be in this and learn more about acting. And I picked all 3 of these shows for very special reasons. And usually we read a somewhat truthful but fictionalized version. George Brandt actually recorded 200 interviews with these real townspeople. Now, in the circus, were there more than one ballet girl and more than one clown? Of course, yeah. Right. We don't have the lions, the toothless tiger.
You should have seen me today when they blocked my alley access. I would have been your lion.
You could have done that. But I just felt like it's a beautiful story.
Yeah.
Painful, but beautiful.
Well, and on top of that, it's, to me, and I'm new to this, whenever I decided, let's help out and I'm going to go and let's do this and go through it, I didn't realize how much harder it was to kind of do this, number one, just in general. I mean, this is not an easy feat.
No, you're doing this in a tableau.
Yeah.
You're relating to the audience slightly, looking at the audience. It's made like a documentary.
Yes.
And so you have to know what everybody's doing and where you move. Even the movements. You guys are beautiful up there. You can't appreciate the shifts and how great it looks, particularly because you're identified by your costume because nobody talks to each other.
Yeah.
They kind of talk about each other once in a while, the clown and the trainer and things like that. But we don't know your name. And it doesn't really matter because you just represent somebody who happened to be there that day, that fateful day.
Well, and another part of it, too, is, in wrestling and all that, where I used to, you have bullet points, and you can kind of just ramble for a little bit, and if you're loud enough and you're quick enough, you can keep going. But now it's like, okay, what do I do here? What are my cheat codes? Shay Maples has figured out all of my cheat codes, and I'm in a little bit of trouble here. He goes, did you see him yesterday whenever I slid the note on my crate? He was so mad. And rightfully so, but I'm just so nervous because, Lee, everyone on that stage is really good at what they're doing. And, I mean, you got Josette out there who's just wonderful as a ballet girl. Hal plays the greatest sheriff of all time.
Oh, he does.
I mean,
and he's so nice.
He's
so nice.
I mean, his speech at the end, and I felt so bad. The speech at the end I laughed at during the first 2 rehearsals because I thought, this is so relatable. Like, this is just like what you would see on the news.
You thought you were at a mega conference. Yes.
It was just like, it was amazing. So as I'm doing this, though, and I'm starting to realize, just how the little details really can tell the show. And, this is pretty tough. I'm not going to lie. I did what you said not to do. And I said, who else has done Elephant's Graveyard? Not very many people.
No.
And it's kind of good that way, so you don't get an interpretation of a character and you take it and kind of just mock it or copy it.
Right.
You make your own interpretation, but to do this and really make it like an inside edition or like an actor's studio almost, that's what I like about it. It's just kind of tough.
It is, and I love supporting all the productions. It's very hard as a director because, of course, I found the show, and originally I was going to direct it, and that's the Kiss of Death. Portia, he knows I'm breathing down his neck saying, okay, but I would really have her do this. I put mud on her neck because she's drowning in mud.
And you're watching it from the technical booth.
Yes.
What are your takeaways of it? Because I'm on stage, and it's kind of, it's so wild not to be able to look at the person that's talking to you. That's another thing that I'm learning too. It's straightforward. This is the way it is. But from what
it's close. But you knew even from Monday to Tuesday, you took a big leap, and you will settle in tonight. It will set. It might not be perfect, but every time you will begin to feel it.
Yeah.
You put that costume on. You have your place, and you're thinking about your day, which is boring until you get there.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you get caught up, which I think is so important, CJ, because decent, good people sometimes get caught up in these insurrections and things like that. Things that happen. And they didn't mean to hurt anyone.
No.
And so we need to understand how hard it is to be the lone voice to say, see, I love the preacher. And again, it's because of his faith, but he says, no, I'm not voting to do that. And that takes tremendous courage.
Well, and that's the huge takeaway. Before we go into a little bit of a brief synopsis of it, I mean, it's the snow globe effect of life. And you can, and no matter what side of the coin you're on, it happens to everybody. Whenever you start seeing the train moving, you jump on the moving train.
Yes.
And no pun intended, because it is kind of related to the trains that are going to be
and
utilized.
And everybody's kind of looking out for themselves and just thinking about their piece and not seeing the calamity that could happen as this comes together.
Do you know who I think is so powerful in this is the hungry townsperson, and I always forget her name. Marjorie. She is one of the nicest women I've ever met, and she is so. And the thing that I like about her and just seeing some other folks on the stage is just how reserved they are until they don't have to. And you know what I'm saying, where it's reserved, but whenever that moment means something, we're going full stop. And these monologues that she does are just wonderful.
A lot of actors are actually inherently shy. I was that way. No one believes that. But when you're on stage and you're inhabiting that character, I've done over 200 shows, so I've gotten to be lots and lots of people. But yeah, Marjorie's very accomplished. She performs in St. Louis, and she actually gets paid sometimes. But she loves us, and she's a dear friend. And so she and I are going to do Front Porch. We're going to do the first show in the studio series next February. Yeah, see, I already have next February planned out.
That is really cool. And see, so we're doing this again.
Yes, we are.
Well, I think it was, for doing this the first time, and you didn't have a year to promote anything, or it just, you had a couple of months. I think it was successful.
Yes. And we've raised over $500. I don't have the bottom line because, again, hopefully we'll sell more tickets this weekend, but for 3 local charities.
Yeah.
And that was my goal, that as long as I covered the cost, then we would also help, because every nonprofit in town is hurting.
Big time.
It's just, we're kind of tight here with money, and people are worried about things, and goodness knows the electric bill this month went up with all the cold we had and everything. So I'm really happy to do that. And I picked the charities that were kind of aligned with the theme. So for this, it's the Wildlife Center, because of all the good work they do with injured and animals that just even get abandoned and things like that. So I thought that would be a good one.
Well, and circling back to just the performance, the play, The story is really unique. I mean, it's a true story, and George Brandt did all of his research, but this is really about a traveling circus that may or may not have bought an elephant that already had some issues, and, you'll see what happens because you want to make money. But what's the synopsis that you could give, that teaser that you can give better than anybody on why people should go to this and what the story's about? Because I don't want to give it away, because I know I'll start reading the script and I'm going to blow it for everybody.
Well, I think you started giving us a little picture of what the smaller circuses that toured the country and what life, everybody dreams about running away with the circus. Not all glory, a lot of hard work. But the small towns in America, which are our backbone, and have such wonderful people in them. But sometimes when people get excited or incited by somebody, then they go along with the flow, and then they spend the rest of their lives grieving. I told you when I visited, people there 100 years later said to me, We weren't here. We had nothing to do with this, but they have rectified. They have committed to raising money for the elephant sanctuary that's in western Tennessee. This is eastern Tennessee where this takes place. And they want people to understand about redemption. And that's what I think this is. There are good people who got caught up in something, they're not at all bad people, but they get caught up in a moment and they don't have the courage to say stop. Even Josh's character, the trainer, says, I should have said something. And we all do that.
Yep.
We go over in our mind, I want to do it differently today. Okay, do it differently from now on. Speak your truth.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Darla plays an excellent tour manager, by the way. I mean,
and she is the sweetest person, but tough as nails.
Well, the best was yesterday because I have a standing issue, okay? The standing issue is I'm looking at the wrong spot where I'm not supposed to be looking. And this is at the end, and everyone's kind of ready to go.
He just almost picked you up and moved you.
Well, the best was before that. Darla goes, CJ, turn. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I'm looking around. She goes, turn that way. And I went, oh, yeah. And then I still turned wrong.
And this is Darla's second show, but
she's so good.
But she's into wrestling, so she has that camaraderie. But I love the first night she put on her costume and Shay yelled at her and said, "You're turning into a girl. Stop it." Because I did want her to have something. I didn't want the audience to think we were pretending she was a guy.
Right.
That she is a female. She's just had to be hard as nails.
I think the best casting call, because everyone in the show is amazing, and I mean that everyone's doing really good stuff. And the fact that we only had a limited time to rehearse, and then we had and
that Shay wasn't at audition, so I actually put most of you in those roles.
I was like the only one that cast or did my casting call was Shay.
Yeah.
But the ringmaster is, I think,
Bradley.
Bradley, the way he looks portrays it perfectly, and I mean that in all positive. But his tone and his cadence, I think, makes the show, because if you don't have a good ringmaster, you aren't going to have a good circus. And I think he really ties in the whole circus town or circus folk together. Because you have a great clown, you have some really great components. I think. What do you think of the clown costume? I love it. I'm in.
I sort of love it, and it is period, and it fits him, which is those are all good things. I had another one that I kind of liked, but it didn't.
Okay,
it didn't fit. But I'll tell you, from a lighting point of view, you have somebody in white satin on stage. It's like whoosh. He has to have a different light because it just is too bright. It bounces off that. But yeah, I love to light Bradley, all 7 feet of him, with that circus hat. People who saw him in 2 rooms will be amazed that it's the same actor, and he has professional things on his thing. He's really good.
Yes, he is.
And studies and does Tai Chi before he gets ready. He's a method actor. Yeah.
What I think's amazing is because, anyone that's from the outside, not in the theater world, never been a part of it, it's kind of nerve-wracking when you go into that setting because you've never been there before and you hear some of the stereotypical things, about, they're going to kind of speak down to you or you're in their world. Not the case. When I walked in, Lee, and I mean this, and I'm not patronizing you, I really felt welcomed. I didn't feel like, I'm holding this up and here's this ding dong that's out here, and and everyone's just respectful. They're nice and they're lovely people, great at performers, and we're gonna do a good job.
Yes, it's gonna be wonderful, and we have all ages and lots of experience. But I don't even think the audience notes that. I mean, I know because I know the background, but we're very committed. And as I just told you, there are some people there. This is their second or their third show, and you never know that because I personally think Josh is just the most touching character in the show. He just breaks my heart
every time. I mean, because we can all be the role of the person that should have said something before it all started.
Yeah,
and that's and he's just a nice man, and I'm excited.
It drives over an hour and a half.
That's what I think's amazing. The other day, whenever the freezing rain hit, and we were going to rehearse Monday. I thought, well, I'm going to be there regardless because if these folks are driving an hour and a half, the least I can do is drive 3 minutes down the road, or whatever, because we were off here. And all of a sudden I was thinking, you're looking at the email chain and they're like, well, hell with this. No, we can still make it. We can still make it. And it's just the dedication they have to the show is what I think is amazing. And is that what keeps Alton Little Theater going with these performances?
Well, it has. The comeback from COVID was a little slow. We lost so many dear season ticket holders. And it takes a while for people to make that kind of commitment, not just come to one show, but buy a season ticket. But more and more, and I think some theaters have closed in St. Louis, although it seems like it's more active. But people do come because of the work. They want to do good shows. They want to have a director who really knows how to direct and works with them. And so they'll drive an hour. It's amazing. I'd say the average is 45 minutes. If you took you and I, who, are 5 minutes away, and everybody else, it's a commitment.
It really is. And the way my viewpoint of this is just completely shifted because I've always respected what you guys do because anyone that's performed in some capacity knows that there's difficult, facets to it. But this is a whole new ball game.
Yes.
And what I thought was kind of Pam, who was in Red Jasper, who from all accounts was just fantastic.
Yes. And 2 rooms. She had 2 major roles a week apart. Yeah.
I'm going to stop complaining. Well, she was sitting there last night, and, after seeing how well she did, to have her come and give her time to watch this was really cool. And it was kind of nerve-wracking because you're like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, this isn't a regular audience member. This is a pretty darn good performer watching this. And she was just blown away. I mean,
and Pam is just so kind and so supportive. And
that was good, though. And then to see the initial reaction to the dialogue, especially at the end, I mean, it really is powerful. And you got tears running down people's faces because the part for me that's so interesting is it's connecting to the character, but also I think in that moment they connect with their real life, their real life situations, and you kind of go back to that feeling that you had at that situation, and it relays in their character. I don't know. It's just kind of my takeaway. It's that realness to it.
Well, and that's good because you got to find that part of you. What would happen in this situation? And sometimes we play a character who's very different. And some actors, the nicest people, they love to play the mean guy or the bully or whatever. I personally would have a very hard time with that. I can do, a little backbiting or something like that on stage. But it's very hard for me to play a character I detest. And I just know myself well enough that what that would do internally to me would not be good.
Absolutely. And with that, too, I think a bigger takeaway, too, is the work that you guys do in the booth. Because I know that we're still moving here, and we've already been talking for 20 minutes. But the work that you guys have to do to get the lighting cues right. I thought Marjorie was going to throw a bottle at you guys on Tuesday.
Oh, my God. And it was so hard because I knew I thought I knew how to fix it, but he'd put that light in every single cue. So I'm going as fast as I can to get all 45 cues. And then now we have it right for her, but it creates an edge line that Hal walks through. And I'm like, just walk quickly. Just put your head down. Just because I can't get it up any further. I mean, we have a fabulous light system.
Yes, you do.
We have 90 instruments. We have moving. We have, everything. But programming them against 44 feet, because you guys are going from set to set, and then different people, most of us are very, very light this time of year, but some people have ruddy complexion, some people have color. And then of course we're going to put Mary over on the side, the projections, and then we switched it, so I had to sort of like, because the lights will wash out the projections, and I want to make sure that everyone sees the true pictures. We did not manufacture this.
Right.
They actually took black and white photos in town that day.
Well, and it's just seeing that and seeing all the work that goes into it, because when the general public, I don't want to say that, but let's say we're talking to someone in Wisconsin, we say Alton Little Theater, I would assume they'd go, oh, well, that's nice little performances. This is a full set production. I mean, no matter, even though it's a one-act play, I mean, it's so impressive to see all these lights going. You got all these microphones everywhere just in case, It's really a testament to all the investments that are made to really provide great shows.
And you had mentioned Country Love, and I know you love Marjorie, and she is one of the best singers who's going to be performing.
She is so wonderful.
I mean, and she sings all kinds of things. She's been in musical after musical, but I had no idea. She's a country girl at heart like I am, and she said, oh, yeah, I'd love to come sing. So
that's awesome.
And Shay's singing too. We got
Really?
Oh, yeah.
What's he throwing out there?
Well, I suggested all the Garth Brooks songs that I love, and Clint Black and some things, and he goes, I'll think about it. He's like, I've got some too. I gave him the list of what everybody was singing, because, again, I don't want two people to sing the same song.
Yeah.
They don't even let you do that on America's Got Talent or any of those shows. But I think it's a great variety of old country and kind of newer country, male and female. And Corinne is probably the youngest. So 20 to maybe close to 60.
We got any Charlie Rich being sung?
Not that I know of, but James Cupp has joined us. And he used to do a couple shows with us when he was much younger, and he just loves country, and he said, I love to sing country, so he showed up and auditioned. I'm like, you're in. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, even though the people who come to Country Love, they will get home to watch the Super Bowl, because it's at 5:30 and the show is at 2. Just Kevin won't be able to watch the Super Bowl live.
Rub it in. Why don't we do this? Let's take a quick pause. We'll come back. Let's talk more about Country Love, and then we'll wrap up with Elephant's Graveyard again, because you have a chance to see me
for $10.
For $10.
In a really cute outfit.
I look rather dashing, if I say so myself. We'll come back after this.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe, rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank. The local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Riverbender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
A lot of fun putting trouble on the run. Man, you find the old and young, twisting the night away. Yeah, twisting.
You can twist the night away. Let's kick my Santa Claus over. You can twist it. Yeah. Well, the reason.
Put me back in the closet.
The reason is I have to get pallets for my basement downstairs in my house.
Oh, yes.
And because I got the dirt basement, the block, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, I want to take this back. Then it was -4 outside, so I'm like, yeah, you know what? I cleaned the studio.
My Christmas thing is in tubs in the garage. It's not going back up because even the water that came in the garage was freezing.
Well, and then I cleaned for Congresswoman Budzinski because she was coming in, so I wanted to make sure it looked nice. And then I go, well, what do I do with all this stuff? I just throw it behind the desk. We'll get there tomorrow, you know? Well, you guys heard my live read earlier. Best of the Best of Country Love is coming down the pipeline on the 10th and the 11th.
Yes, Saturday night and then Sunday afternoon.
But that Sunday always sells out pretty quick.
Well, I'm hoping because so many people have told me over the years that Valentine's Day, they just jack up the prices. Yep. Dinner is so expensive. It's hard to get, reservations. And so particularly for people who maybe don't like to drive at night, we wanted to always do something for our lovely seniors and our supporters. And so I thought, well, we'll do a night show and then we'll do an afternoon show. And I love to cook. And I don't have a family here. My family doesn't live around here. I still send them things, but I love everybody loves chocolate, or almost everybody loves chocolate. And
True.
So there used to be a lot of chocolate kind of buffets and things. So I just thought, well, we'll have some champagne, some hot chocolate, lots of chocolate, and some beautiful music.
Yeah.
And we had someone who said that they believe we have some real talent in the area. And so we have 7 people. I might add somebody, but we have a grand prize. And the audience votes, not me. The audience will vote. We'll tabulate it, see who comes in first, second, and then everybody will get some chocolate, some things.
What happens when one of the performers doesn't like the mail-in voting system? That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Well, who wouldn't want to get $500 for singing a couple of songs, even if it's Super Bowl Sunday? They'll be home in time.
It was a rigged voting process.
No, see, that's why I wanted everybody to know it's the audience that votes. I don't vote. We have ballots. You can come in and check them.
Well, I just think this is so cool because we have so many talented performers around here that are really good. And a lot of times it's harder for them to find places to play. And it could be because of the way that, size of audience matters in terms of these facilities, and then, whether or not they want to play at a bar on every Friday night or they want to go actually perform for people that are coming to play or see music and hear it. This is a great opportunity for them. And
I wanted it to be pure music.
Yeah.
Not over amplified and lots of things like that. And people like Lisa Rosenstock, who is in Mamma Mia, lives in Chesterfield. She said, I just want to come and have fun and enjoy myself. Kathy Piercy, who was just in Gentleman's Guide, she lives in St. Charles, but she said, oh, I love country music. I want to come do this. And apparently, when I thought about it, there's not that many musicals. These are people who do musicals.
Gotcha.
There's not that many musicals where it's country. So for people like me who grew up on country music, it's like, oh, you're right. You know, I listen to all CDs and I listen to the radio all the time, but you don't go see many musicals that are country.
No, and what I like about it too is just the fact that they have something to compete for. Now, I think that's so. Now, are they going to have? Are you going to have the American Idol lights whenever you announce the winner? Like do.
Well, it's in the foyer. I could do that with those movers, but you know, I think Kevin wants to have his show program because that is his Tech Sunday. He opens the 4-poster 5 days later.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. He reminds me daily that he's rehearsing in the foyer now because of the studio series. Sunday, after we strike, he moves in. He will build his set totally on Monday. We've got all the furniture, we got all the props, all the costumes. It's a huge show with just 2 lovely people, but it's a huge show because it goes through 35 years of marriage from like 1890 to 1925. And he built the bed and several of the set pieces. And a couple of the local antique shops have been so generous and so wonderful to us. I needed a 7-foot-tall armoire, and I thought, where am I going to find this? Country Meadows had one.
That's awesome.
And they said, if you can move it, we'll load it to you. I mean, it's huge. So we got to wait till we get a little better weather out there. But...
I was watching him do a little bit of the rehearsals with Kevin, and I love his formula for this because it's a really cool way to rehearse, and he's really hands-on. And
he's very hands-on. He and I are very similar in the way we direct.
But I liked it because he didn't know I was even watching. I was kind of just going out to, I hate to say it, take a smoke break, and I was steam shovel operator, really playing the part here. And I go out and I listen to this. The chemistry of those 2 performers are there, and we're going to touch on that, I'm sure, in the next week because it's the first Thursday of the month.
Yes.
And
they're both wonderful performers.
Wonderful.
Never knew each other.
You cannot tell that just in rehearsals.
Yeah.
If you have a really good chemistry, it's going to turn out well. Shifting back to Elephant's Graveyard, because we have about 8 minutes left. Luis, who is watching the show right now, I'm sorry, I forgot. I told Luis, our sports reporter, I said, 9:40, but I forgot we had because I forgot it was Thursday. Well, Luis, we'll do it Friday. It's all good, man. We'll talk about the Cardinals and all that fun stuff. But Elephant's Graveyard's perfect show to go see.
Yes.
It's an hour long, if that. I mean, it was right around an hour.
Around an hour, yeah.
And it's really an enjoyable thing where you can go and just for an hour take that escape, put the phone away, and really just go back in the past because what I think the show does more than the story, on top of telling the story, not more than, but probably equal to, is really taking you back to that time period. And with the character dialogue, with the way that people got ready for huge days in town.
Oh, and see, growing up in Houma, Louisiana, I totally
Could you really?
know that. Oh, yeah, the church picnics, even anything that was coming down. Any excuse to not have to work or pick wigs or do things, like that. So I remember, because I was even younger than Alina's character. I was only in Louisiana until I was 8. And I know this is tough for her because she's done musicals. And she has to sit there and process all this serious. And there's no other young people in the show, but I think everybody's been really kind to her and everything. So, but that's sometimes hard when you're in the dressing room and everybody knows kind of how to put on makeup and what they're doing, except you're the young one and you don't know how to do it.
Well, I'm telling you what, I think she's done a very good job, and I'm excited for that too. And it's just the reason I really drive this home is tickets are $10 for this.
Yes.
If I can get 40 of you today to call Michael whenever he gets back to the box office, and really get tickets, you're going to see me make my debut. And honestly, I mean, I hate to give the call to action, but you never know what can happen. Number one, so if you want to, I guess, you never know if you have a meltdown, you can find that. But
remember, Marjorie's right in front of you. She
will smack me sideways.
She can smack you sideways. You don't want to mess with her.
So, but you never know. The biggest call to action really is this is an hour-long performance. It's $10, and you get a really unique show that you aren't going to see anywhere else. No one else has done this. I tried to find it because I did what Lee Cox told me not to do, and that was to go ahead and Google it to see who else has done the show, because I couldn't connect with the steam shovel operator at first. There was some disconnect, so I thought, well, maybe I'll see how he's being portrayed.
Right.
Well, that didn't really.
I do it. It's just that I know Kevin's right. When people go on YouTube, then they're imitating.
Yes.
And they think they have to do it that way. And if you're a real actor, you want to find your character that fits you. I mean, we could have had some big old guy be the steam shovel operator. But I liked casting at younger because you were so bored and so stuck, which I think some people are. And they're just stuck in this town. And then all of a sudden, I get the feeling it will change that character's life. You will do something else. You're not going to go back to the same humdrum.
Yeah, and I think you're 100. And the thing that I find so fascinating about this too is just in terms of the circus as a whole and the dialect. It shows really the thought process of the entertainment companies. And I'm not saying that everyone's like this, but it is. I mean, in WWE, when Owen Hart fell from the ring, the show went on, and he died in the ring, and they did the pay-per-view still. And it's the money aspect, and how much do you really want that $8,000 investment in this with it being the elephant? And I think that's a big spotlight too, is really that thought process, because it's never changed decade after decade for these major companies. It's we got to keep moving. And that's time's money, and that elephant in this case is our investment.
Yep.
And it takes out, I think it really not takes away, but adds to the humanity aspect of it too, where the audience is going to go, this guy is a son of a bitch. I mean, they're going to, because this is an elephant. You're talking about cutting her tusks off and saving what's left.
But he was responsible for feeding 30 people.
Yes. And
all the animals.
And that's what I love about this, because there's always that good and bad aspect of does the bad outweigh the good, or does the good outweigh the negative? And
Bradley really understands that selfish part of us and the survival part. What would you do just to survive if your back was to the wall? Plus, you're right. He's just a beautiful man and such a great ringmaster. You're just excited to see him.
I really want to say this too, because we have a couple of minutes left, and I just to everyone that's on the cast, I mean, really a big thank you, because you guys all welcomed me into open arms. You could have went, okay, get out of here. We'll find somebody else. Just thanks, take your ducktail and walk home. But they weren't. Everyone, seriously, all the way down is giving me
even
tips,
gave you guys
guidance.
the biggest dressing room, because there's more males than females for once.
And it was just nice, though, to be welcomed in and really feel like it's okay. Because yesterday I kind of got stumped a little bit. I was doing great. Like 3/4 of the way through, I was like rocking and rolling. I thought, this is my day. And then I got stuck. And all of a sudden, it wasn't like, oh, my God, come on, let's go. Yeah. It was, you got this, man. Just take a breath. We're going to get through this together. And I think that's a big testament to Alton Little Theater and why you guys are successful, because if you didn't have that team atmosphere...
We've all been there. And,
I just love it.
I love that I was able to do a one-woman show, but I will tell you that when you are the only person on stage for 90 minutes.
No, you weren't.
I was. Yeah, and I'm one of 3 women in the whole 90-year history who has done a one-woman show. So
it's just incredible.
I wouldn't take it on now. But the memory's like not quite that sharp, but it's very empowering.
I bet. Well, so as we have 2 minutes left, Sunday, are tickets still available?
Yes.
Okay, so tickets are available. Friday night at 7:30, you can come in the door and see Elephant's Graveyard for $10.
And then stay for the Q&A, because I think that is really the enrichment.
Are we doing a Q&A?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the whole cast is invited, but not... Your cast is so big, I don't know that everybody will answer, but they may have certain questions for certain people if they really are observing the characters. Like, I think they want to know what would happen to Josette. What would she do? She was so destroyed. And Josh tells us what's going to happen. Yeah, they would maybe wonder what would Bradley do with the circus. Yeah. Some of that.
Well, I just highly encourage you, because and the reason I say this is because we all are moving at 100,000 miles an hour. It's craziness right now. Campaign season's already started, and especially here in the county with primaries and all the nastiness.
And I'm a news junkie on top of being a theater junkie, so yeah.
Yeah. You know,
I'm always listening to something.
So you can get just go at 7:30 or go there at 7:15 because there's going to be an awesome free court.
I
can't believe we almost forgot about that.
I know Thomas is just such a delightful guy, and I met him several months ago
You
at an
told me,
Alton
yeah.
Main Street event, but he's deceptive. He can look like just your circus, guy, but he is so intelligent. He had already read the play. He knew the story. He's lived all over the United States. He's just a wonderful guy, raising his family, decided to move here, California, Ohio,
I gotta
to
get him
here.
on the show.
Yeah, he's really wonderful. And he does know a lot about the history of the circus and sideshow and the entertainers, and which used to be our movies. So you got to remember, this was before movies.
Right. And you know what I think's amazing? So I'm old now. Believe it or not, I actually am getting ready to turn a quarter of a century. But in terms of kids, I'm like ancient. Like, I am just done. I think I didn't even know Snapchat wasn't a thing anymore. Like, I was like, oh, okay. Well, what I think is so funny is I told them, I go, guys, what Nickelodeon's really named after is it was the movie pictures. You put a nickel in the thing and you got to... No way. And it's just those things that, like, I am now old and ancient telling him what the movie pictures
now
were.
10 years defines a generation, not 20. So
You're right.
You're going to feel older and older and older. Trust me. I love that I have 6 granddaughters who kind of keep me like current and said, I'll put this on your phone and then you can follow us and things like that.
Well, all I know is this, Lee. I'm excited. You can help celebrate Lee Cox's birthday on Saturday.
On Saturday.
Mine's on Sunday, so we can have a birthday weekend at Alton Little Theater.
Absolutely.
We'll have some fun. And seriously, from the bottom of my heart, I'm glad you reached out to me to do this because it was a good experience. And even though it was nerve-wracking, I'm finding out more about how to be just, a performer in general, and it helps.
Well, I love that because you really do know a lot more about the theater than just having me come here. You're there. You see the ins and outs of it now and the hard work we do.
And it's really a testament to why you guys have been successful for 90 years and why for the next 90 we are going to hope that we're still successful.
We hope. I'm just getting to 100. If we could just get to the 100th anniversary, because so many theaters have had to shut down. It's been tough, and I feel like I owe that to the ancestors and the people who worked so hard 100%. To start it.
100%. Because there is a lineage with Alton Little Theater, and we're going to hopefully keep that going till 100 and even longer. But it all starts this Friday night at 7:30 and on Saturday at 7:30 and on Sunday at 2 p.m.
Yes, 2.
I nailed it.
But come 15 minutes early and see the Freak Show Deluxe.
And Whatness Elephant's Graveyard. I'm telling you, this is going to be one that you remember. Oh, one last thing. The music component of this, I think, is pretty cool.
And Brant searched far and wide because we were going to have live music.
Yeah.
And then these songs are not easy, but he found some gems, and I think it's perfect. It sets the tone of the show.
I mean, you guys are really in for a treat, and you can get tickets at altonlittletheater.org. That's altonlittletheater.org, or you can call the box office at 462-3205.
Very good. Very good.
My live reads are paying off. Whenever you talk about the phone number every day of the week, it eventually becomes memorized. 618-462-3205 or altonlittletheater.org, and we'll see you on tomorrow night and Saturday night and Sunday afternoon and in a couple of weeks for Best of the Best Country Love.
Next week. It's the first.
That's how quick everything's...
Yeah, sometimes our last of the month and our first of the month get really close. But I'm glad because we have so much going on.
And we'll see Lee Cox back next Thursday. 4 weeks in a row. And we'll have some more fun then. On that note, it's 10:03. Lee Cox, I'll see you later on this evening.
Okay. I'll see you 6:20.
And I'll be there at 6 with Josh because he's going to help me out even more.
Right.
Thank you, Josh. 10:04 is the time. We'll come back with Senior Services Plus Speed Connections. We're going to learn about it next. Is it time to buy, sell, or even time to consider a short sale of your property? Meet Lisa Webb, owner of 3rd Street Realty. This local, women-owned, family-operated realty group has over a decade of experience in foreclosures, first-time home buying, and so much more. Third Street Realty prides themselves on holding your hand through the entire process. Let their expertise guide you to your dream home. Visit thirdstrealty.com and start your journey with Lisa Webb today.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Sorry, I forgot to turn the screen back on. Busy morning. Emily, Senior Services Plus. Sydney? Oh, thank God. I always botch something and I was so nervous. The other day, seriously, it is 10:08. I was looking online for the events and I noticed this speed connections thing. And I went, what is this? And it's this speed dating type of event for seniors at Senior Services Plus. How fun is this? This is awesome. Sydney, how did this idea come about?
So it was actually a request from the people, and they wanted to see speed dating, and we were like, game on, let's do it. So we put it together. There's not really anything like it around. near us.
Yeah.
So we're hoping it's a big hit.
Well, I'm excited for this. So we were just talking before, or in the break, Emily, and this is for romantic relationships, if that's what they would like in their life, or for friendship too.
Correct.
And honestly, there's a lot of folks that just would like to have friends.
Yeah.
And how long is this event going to last for?
So it starts at 2 p.m., check in at 1:30. We're hoping to wrap up by 4, but it really depends on how many people come and the rotation.
Are you getting a lot of good feedback off the bat?
Yeah. A lot of people have said, like, romantic is great, but that friendship is what I'm looking for.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Well, and too, you guys have such great resources up at SSP with the breakfast nook and the restaurant and the workout facilities that there's a great spot to connect. If you do find that friend that you can hang out with and just go grab coffee at SSP on a Monday or Tuesday morning, that's really important for that senior and keeps them happy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what day is this on?
Friday, February 9th in the Schoolhouse Grill at our facility.
Really cool. And how's the facility going? Everything coming along pretty well?
Everything's great, and I do want to commend Sydney's run with this event. Something that's huge in the older adult population is social isolation. Lots of things happen. Sydney actually just finished a blog post for our February blog about social isolation for older adults. So you'll have to keep an eye on our Facebook page and website for that post. But it's something we're passionate about addressing. And we have a lot of programs and services that do that. And this is just one more avenue that we can help older adults make friendship and or romantic connections. You could come for both. You could come for one or the other. And just have that kind of additional socialization opportunity in your life.
Well, I just think it's so important because you can tell in a healthy way. Because we've all been down to certain areas in town or throughout the region, and you go to the stereotypical donut shop or you go to the boat, and you see the folks that try to make friendships, but they have to maybe gamble to make that friend or spend some money and go socialize a different way. Yeah. This is a healthy way to do it, and it's a safe way to do it, and you know that everyone, your older adult in your life, if you're kind of nervous about that, they're going to be safe at SSP talking to some really nice people.
Absolutely, yeah. We're really big on safe and relaxed and inclusive, so no stress when it comes to this.
Absolutely. And Sydney, how long have you been at SSP?
Since October.
How's it been?
Yeah, it's been wonderful. Emily's a great boss. Our team is great. Honestly, couldn't ask for
Good
better.
answer.
Yeah. Good answer. Right here.
We're lucky to have Sydney. She's hit the ground running.
Well, and with that, what are you looking to do more of these events that are based on your, I guess, your demographics feedback?
Yeah, we this is our first one, so we're going to see how it goes. We hope to pick it up again next year or sooner, depending on the feedback we get. We haven't had it yet, so we're hoping that it's
going to be
amazing.
A hit.
Yeah, that's what I've gotten so far.
So seriously, I didn't even realize, because I have a new email now, and Emily, I saw your email on my old one come through, and I'm like, oh, great. I didn't realize, because 2 days before that, I saw the Speed Connections and went, this has got to be the coolest Valentine's Day event I've ever seen. Because I feel like they get left out a lot.
Yeah.
And it's just because a lot of it's meant towards younger couples and the ones that, might truly celebrate, I don't know. But when you get older, you lose that socialization. And the fact that you guys are providing that, I think, is a huge testament to what SSP's true mission is.
Thank you.
And on top of that, too, there's no charge to do this, correct?
There is.
Oh, I lied. Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, it's $10 to participate. You can buy your ticket on our website, seniorservicesplus.org/speed-connections. Or you can call me, and I can get you registered. We'll also register people on Friday.
What I think's cool, too, is, the folks that are going to go in there, I'm sure are going to be reconnecting with people they haven't seen in a while and not realizing it, too.
Yeah.
And that's going to be really a fun aspect.
I think so.
Awesome. So with that being said, it's $10. You can pay online. You can get it at the door.
Yes.
And it goes for 2 hours or until it's done, correct? 2 to 4 p.m. on the...
Friday, February 9th.
Oh, I was going to say the 10th. I finally bought something. Emily, I was so good all show. Like, I was remembering phone numbers. I was doing it all. Except for remembering that it was Friday the 9th. Emily, with that being said, what's it like to bring someone in like Sydney that's a little bit younger that, is able to...
Why do you think I'm young? I am young.
But it's got to be nice to have some newer, fresh faces coming into SSP and really, alleviating some of the workload.
Yeah, it's been a huge help to have the team that I have. I have 3 great staff that I work with, and they're all very passionate about what they do. And you can see when they're interacting with the members that are in every day, the visitors, that they're enjoying what they do and they understand the mission and they're helping carry that forward.
Take me through the relationship that you guys do have with your folks whenever they come in every day for their programs or just to stop in, because it seems like it's a first name basis and maybe even a catching up in how we're doing.
Absolutely. You know, there are people that I've known through my childhood that will come in or that have other family connections. Sometimes they're new friends. One of the other people in our department has made some great connections with people who are maybe attending our Spanish class or our upcoming sign language class. You know, we're seeing them for lunch and she's saying hello, and I think that's also something that is addressing social isolation is the staff. All of the staff at SSP are just like that. We interact genuinely and intentionally with people that come in. We want to know their first names. We see you in the grill, we're going to say, hey, how's it going? How was that thing we talked about last week? How are the grandkids? Do you have any trips coming up?
And I'm sure they live for that, too, in a way, because they look forward to going in and having that relationship with you guys. Because anyone that, and even my brief time, whenever I was still delivering before I partnered it off, I mean, they would call really just to see me. You know, it wasn't really they wanted something. It was just a phone call.
Right.
And it kind of hits home that way, really, when you see that need. And to realize that all the classes and different opportunities you have for seniors, including the speed connections. If someone has a question about this, can they call you?
Yeah, my number is 618-465-3298.
Oh, you're a pro. She didn't even look down.
I know. I have it though. But my extension is 116. You'll get me.
What? And once again, what's that phone number?
618-465-3298, extension 116.
There you go. I always say it twice just in case, you know. Hey, it's 10:15. I got to pay a quick bill. Can you guys hang out for a second? Yep. We'll come back, talk speed connections for a little bit more. And I want to know more about these classes that you guys have coming down the pipeline. It's 10:16 on this 25th day of January, a Thursday in the heart of the 618. And we'll come right back after this.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work. But the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Everything is alright. I'm tight out of sight. Lately, everything is
welcome back. 10:19 and a little bit of change on this Thursday morning. I keep thinking it's Friday. I don't know if that's like hitting you guys at all, but that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, getting back to Speed Connections, what I think is just so fun. Take me through the format. So is this kind of like, you know, we're sitting there at the card table and we got the buzzer going and we got 30 seconds, or how's that work?
Well, close. We are going to have it indicated on everyone's name tag whether they're looking for romance or friendship. So
that's really
everybody
cool.
knows what each other is looking for. And it'll be like speed dating in that you will rotate. We will have a sound effect to keep it moving. And it'll be around the grill. Different tables, different people. So
I like the name tag aspect, so that way no one's, you know, everyone knows what we got going on here.
Yeah. You're not going to find romance here if it's friendship.
Right. And do we know the time intervals?
So we're thinking about 5 minutes or less.
Yeah.
It really depends on how many people we have signed up and the matches that were made. We don't want it to be too long, but we don't want it to be too short and people don't get to really talk. So
Yeah. Well, that's what I was kind of wondering, too. And I just think it's going to lead to a lot more, you know, just better connections, too, for the folks. Doing a show here that we can do for the folks, and I think it's really important, especially because I know personally that older adults in my life have struggles, you know, kind of finding friendship, not really that romantic partner, but just a connection. And the fact that you're doing this, I think it's going to go for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And getting back to all the other great things going on at SSP, I didn't know you guys taught Spanish.
So we work with someone who volunteers to come in.
That's
and
awesome.
He teaches the Spanish. Yep. And we do it in the warmer months, so he doesn't have to get out in the winter. So that'll be starting back up in the spring.
That's really cool. And what else is coming down the pipeline here?
Sydney is also actually planning our 2024 gala, so we'll have more information.
Wow. Sydney, you're doing some good stuff.
Yeah, that gala's in June, so.
Wow. We're only a couple of months away from. Isn't it crazy how fast this year's already kind of going on?
Very crazy.
Are you, did you ever think that you'd be taking, you know, because that's a staple event. That's the big boy. You know, that's the big, and you're doing something right if you're getting tasked with the responsibility.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm excited. She laid the groundwork from last year.
Sure.
Our first one. So we have a lot of sponsors returning. But if there's anyone out there that wants to sponsor, be a part of this exciting thing in June, we are happy to have you.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So how many other classes? Because you said sign language. We were just we were talking during the break. I consider you guys almost like a Hainer library where you have so, literally, and I'm not patronizing you, you have so many components that it's hard to kind of keep track sometimes.
Absolutely.
So what are some of the classes like sign language, if you could fill me in?
Yeah, so sign language is a new one. It was a request.
Yeah.
So same with Spanish. Those both came from visitor requests. People who are normally visiting our center say, hey, we're looking for some kind of resource. We chat with our contacts and see what we can do. So our sign language class is actually full already.
What? That's awesome.
Yeah.
How many people?
The max is 25, and we've got a wait list going. Wow. So
I love it. I love it.
We'll look at extending it and possibly doing it again and working with Angela from Impact to get the class. Yeah.
That is so cool.
We'll continue looking at that. We've also got a blood drive coming up Monday. Yep. That'll be from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. All of that information for registration is on our Facebook page. We've got free bingos, our normal free bingos, February 6th, 20th, and 27th. And then our wellness center is actually turning 5 this year.
Is it really?
Yes, 5 years since we built our brand new wellness center.
Wow. It actually feels like it was only like a year or two ago.
I know. It's huge, and it still looks brand new.
It looks
really
beautiful. You guys have done a fantastic job on the upkeep, and really just because it's easy for all the equipment when you're working out on it to kind of go ratty pretty quick.
Right.
But when you do the job that all you do at SSP, you're going to keep it clean and keep it spotless.
The staff in there have done a great job. We do have a 10% discount for any annual memberships purchased in February. So that'll be kicking off February 1st.
And for maybe I've always wanted to know this question, and maybe it's because I just need to go and stop in and see the wellness center. For older adults that maybe can't, bench press or anymore, or, maybe running on the treadmill's not the best interest for them, are there some exercise equipment there that they could still utilize?
Absolutely. So we built this wellness center. I was actually involved with its inception when I was first at the organization years ago.
Really?
So our goal for it was to create an environment and a center that was truly aimed at helping adults age appropriately and well. So we have various types of wellness equipment, fitness equipment in there for various types of ability levels. And our trainers are also very well equipped to work with any older adult who may have a physical limitation, to walk them through a safe way to use the equipment. We have an indoor walking track. We have types of, we do still have the typical bench press and squat racks. So adults who are capable of doing that and feel comfortable doing that or want to learn, we even have a weightlifting class, so there are lots of opportunities and lots of varying ability levels that are welcome and classes for those ability levels.
That's so cool. And if you guys are just tuning in or tuning back in and out, the Speed Connections is coming up on February the 9th from 2 to 4 p.m. at Senior Services Plus. You can call Sydney over there if you have any questions at
618-465-3298, extension 116.
There you go. And then for all the other really great stuff, especially as we're getting closer and closer to the gala, you got to get back on the show and fill us in on the preparations.
Yeah.
But get in touch with Senior Services Plus because there's so many things that you all do that really needs to be talked about more. And you just keep up the great work because all of you put the hard hat on and you put in more than 8 hours a day to make sure you're doing the best for the people at SSP. And I think it shows.
Thank you.
Anything else we need to talk about today?
Come out, stop by. If you're interested in anything that we're doing, if you're looking for socialization, anybody's welcome to eat lunch or breakfast at the Schoolhouse Grill, which is open Monday through Friday.
And it's pretty darn good, too.
It is good, yes.
10:25 is the time on this 25th day of January. I did not do that on purpose. We'll take a quick break and more of our daily show will hit you next, right after this. Is it time to buy, sell, or even time to consider a short sale of your property? Meet Lisa Webb, owner of 3rd Street Realty. This local, women-owned, family-operated realty group has over a decade of experience in foreclosures, first-time home buying, and so much more. 3rd Street Realty prides themselves on holding your hand through the entire process. Let their expertise guide you to your dream home. Visit 3rdstrealty.com and start your journey with Lisa Webb today.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Reason why I should never make a change. Baby, if you owe me, then all of this will go away.
Here we go, 10:30 on the dot. How about that? Welcome back to this Thursday morning. You know, we got some exciting news. A partnership. C-Rations, Grubhub, Slurped Daquiri, under one roof at Eastgate Plaza. This is what the people needed.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about this?
We are excited.
Very excited.
This has probably been a long time coming, and the way that it happened, you wouldn't believe it if we told you, but
Right.
you know, it's been a long time coming.
Well, and Hoover, Christina, how does it feel? I mean, you guys have worked for a very, no one realizes it. I do because I've known you for a little bit of time.
Day one, yes. Day one, too, yeah.
You put in the work. I mean, nonstop. You had the whole family helping you. What I thought was the coolest thing ever was,
Thank you.
And I'm not patronizing you, was to see all the children, and whenever you're doing the catering and the bulk orders.
Yeah.
They were moving.
Yes.
And, you know, I just couldn't get over it. And to see that's a family business.
Yeah, some awesome kids. Yes,
And they still do.
Yeah.
They still do. They don't complain.
College and everything else.
We got two in college and they come home.
That's incredible.
Come home and jump right in.
And look, money makes kids do the best things.
I was going to say, parents are going to ask you for your secrets here in a second, you know.
Pay them.
Pay the kids. Pay the kids.
So, Slurped Daquiri's been at Eastgate Plaza.
Yeah.
And they're working today, so we're going to keep moving. But the bottom line is this. They didn't sell food.
Yep.
Right.
But they sold drinks.
They sold drinks.
You guys don't sell drinks.
Nope.
Right. But you make some darn good food.
Yep.
Yes.
So why not partner up?
Yep.
Yes.
And you know,
Great.
it kind of just came down very quickly.
Did it
but
really?
you know, we started asking people,
telling
hey,
you,
what do you
story's
think?
I got to know the story here.
So, the
Can
story.
you condense
the
it?
quick version.
Okay. Let's see. We
Quick
can
version. In the wintertime, we have to close our food truck.
Right.
Because it's cold.
There's no way.
And we're old. And it hurts.
Right.
Yeah.
So
You're
we
not
were
there.
looking around. We were looking for a small space that we could just kind of, if anything, pull our truck up. But we had a warm spot during the winter, so we didn't have to close. And we happened to get some work done on our actual truck, our pickup. And we spoke to one guy. One guy knew this. The other person knew this person. And then the next thing you know, we're talking to Dorian and Jasmine, and then within 48 hours, we were like
sitting in front of
Todd and Julia. And then the next thing you know, we're like, hey, so I think we're opening a restaurant.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how that just works sometimes?
Yeah.
Well, and that to me is you always know there's a plan out there because sometimes things just line up in a way that there has to be somebody there guiding the course.
Hey,
CJ, let me tell you, I'm going to tell you. So
You're right.
before the conversation started with everything, we were actually looking at a totally different place.
No kidding.
And they were signing the lease that day that we saw it. And so we were like, well, you know, we prayed, and then we were like, this is all we need, Lord. Like, we ain't trying to be rich.
Well, and that's
anything.
And see, that's the thing that I wish more younger entrepreneurs would realize, that you got to realize what your goals are. People think, and I always get yelled at for this, and you're kind of in a way crucified, because I say Alton's not New York. We are a small town.
Yeah.
Riverbend's made up of small communities that make up a larger one. So quit acting like you're going to make $4 million a year.
It's not
going to happen. You got to find your mission to why you want to do something, especially in a small town. And when you live by what you do, like both of you and your family has done for over a decade, it seems like, at this point. It has been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, it has been.
I'm telling you.
Oh my.
I'm telling you. You know,
wow, it don't seem like it.
It doesn't. Because when you're working that hard, it feels like it's yesterday.
It does. And it
You
goes
just
by,
keep
and you know,
moving.
the kids keep growing, they keep getting older, and they keep getting lives, but they keep doing it. So, you know, until they don't, we're going to keep on.
So, and that's why I think this is such a perfect fit, because you needed to have I think it's always good to have a brick and mortar, especially for food, because you never know whenever someone wants to stop in or have that set location where people can find you. And the fact that this is like a hand fit in a glove, you know, situation with Slurped Daquiri.
It worked out so perfect.
They awesome.
Are they
They
good
are
people?
awesome. They very good people.
Yep. And you know, they're family oriented too.
Right.
So it kind of, you know, we
So-
don't have to explain anything because they deal with the same thing
they've
we
been grinding
deal with.
too,
They've
just
been
like us,
grinding
but
too.
just
They've
on a
been
different side. But you know, on the drink side. But yeah, they've been putting in work. So.
I love it. I mean, that's another thing that I think makes a partnership successful, is the fact that you have to believe in the same message, you know, in the same vision. And how are you going to get there? And it seems like, just by hearing you guys a little bit, this is the same kind of you know, vision on this.
Oh yeah.
I wish that there were more small businesses that understood we grow better together.
Yeah,
like
that is true.
The whole idea of cornering a market in little old Riverbend, Alton area, it is not a realistic thing.
I was speaking at Alton Main Street a couple weeks ago, and Sarah McGibney asked me to come speak at their appreciation party, and I said, you know, Alton Main Street's successful because you guys have realized you can't succeed as individuals. You'll sink quicker than the Titanic
Yes,
did.
you will.
But as a team and as a unit, if you all work together and quit being greedy and just decide, hey, we can do this as a team, you'll achieve greater heights in that prosperous field of gold tomorrow if you do it together, and that's the only way you can.
Because I'm not selling what you selling.
Exactly.
You know,
and in
so
this
different.
town, they don't come for the service. They come for who you are as a person.
Exactly.
And I don't care what anyone says.
I agree.
That's why we talk to anybody and everybody every chance we
There's
get.
40,000 bars in this town, and I'm not saying that, and it's half joke, but people go to their prospective bar or that restaurant because of the staff, because of the person behind that bar, or just like you're getting your tire changed, you'd rather talk to the cool dude that's changing your tire rather than the guy that's, you know, kind of a little cold. It's no different.
Yeah,
Same thing.
I mean, you know, you do run across people that are angry. They woke up in the morning and angry they have a job, but I mean, and then that's how they treat people.
Exactly.
That's how they did.
No, we prefer to stay on the kind side because, you know, it comes back to you.
It does.
10,000 fold. All you got to do is be nice.
There is so many times when I had that business and I was a whole different person 10 years or 8 years ago or 7 years ago, whenever it was. But, you know, you start to realize that the conversations you have now, like I have with people that come on the show, it's like, I've been righting a lot of wrongs because everyone knows I was a partier 7 years ago. You know, it's no open, you know, it's kind of an open secret. And, you know,
it's not like that's what we do in our 20s.
Right.
Yeah.
But, you know, and I lost a business and all of that, but it's the fact that, you know, you own it, you own who you are, and you keep communicating because the town will rally around you like they did for C-Rations Grubhub because you have a great message, some great food, and you have a great meaning for the community and giving free food to children and all these community-oriented services you do along with Feed My Peeps at times with Jackie. She's lovely too. And I just love that we have a hardworking family, two hardworking families now partnering up and going to make a banger out of a restaurant.
Oh, we're so excited.
Plaza.
I don't think that Dorian and Jasmine have realized. I'm like, you know, we started this going forward with the Most High. We going forward with the Lord. And I told her, I said, you know, at this point, He didn't bring us this far to just drop us off.
Drop us off.
So I don't think that they don't see it. They're getting there. But I think when we finally open, I'm gonna see that smile.
I can attest to this. I can attest to this. I happened to work with Hoover and Christina a couple of times years ago. I didn't realize what I was getting myself into. Okay. you are going to have so much success, and you're going to have a fun time doing
We
it.
pray that in Jesus' name.
What I think's great, though, is the military background shows through in situations like this. And what I mean by that is you're a unit. You're a team, and you're going to work hard with each other. You aren't working hard on your own. You're working hard together, and we're a team. We're going to help out when we need to, and it's going to be a success.
Yes, and I hope that can lend to be a testament for other small business owners as well, because there are many of us out there. You know, I had to hire a personal assistant.
Yeah, I saw that.
Because I was doing everything. I was scheduling, keeping the books, making the food, cooking the food, and then we're going out selling the food. I mean, that's how we met.
Yes.
And and then
you got to be a mom still.
Oh yeah,
you know, and a wife and all that.
Yeah. Coach and things like that. Yeah.
He still coaches. So what I learned is you can do everything yourself, but you're given mediocre effort.
That's what it is.
She's awesome
and so
too.
when I hired her,
man.
I hired her because my business had to stay alive.
Yeah.
Even when my dad passed.
I saw that. Yeah. Is everything going better now?
We are doing good, but you know, my business still had to stay afloat.
Exactly.
And she carried me. She carried our business.
Like
Her, Erica from Easy Solutions. You're my new bestie, and you know that. And you know, she knows what I'm thinking at this point, and she can. I love her. She's the best.
Yeah, for me to tell you, man, I like your work. You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. Well, you're right. And before we take a break, because you aren't going anywhere, we got more to talk about. I just got to pay a bill. Grand opening is on February
the 4th at
That's
noon.
what I thought. And that's a Thursday, correct?
Nope, that is a Sunday.
Sorry, I haven't started drinking yet. That is a Sunday.
That is a Sunday.
February the 4th, and it starts at noon, doesn't it?
Noon until we either sell out or we don't want to do it no more.
We'll find out all about
open day. That's an open day.
That's
really.
right. And I like that, though, because that way you guys can get in there without being shell-shocked, you know, and you can
One thing we learned is we do not put time constraints on what we do because it's stressful.
It's very stressful. And I've never understood that because people, you always tell the first time anyone does an event or anything like this because they go, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, you aren't
going to be set up in 2 hours.
No, the only thing people can get done in 2 hours is complain.
Yeah, you're amen. 10:40. We'll take a quick pause and we'll come back with more of this after a quick break.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway safe rubber tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, Free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
One more time to kill the pain.
10:43, 25th day of January. It's a Thursday morning. Is it getting any brighter outside? It looks like Seattle for 4 days.
I saw sunshine today.
You're right.
What?
Just for a glimpse.
Yeah, I saw sunshine
Peeking
today.
through the
Yeah.
clouds.
That's all right. That's
a lot of fall.
That's the Lord giving you a little hint that this grand opening on February the 4th is going to be a good one. So let's take me through the menu because you just showed it to me, and I'm telling you what. All of you are in for some fun over there. This is cool. So deep fried burritos.
Yep.
We got great brisket. Your guys' brisket's fantastic. Your mac and cheese has always been really good. There's something about the cheese, the sauce you put in there.
They come from all around for that one.
That's true.
Yeah.
And so take me through your menu and the alterations that you made for this.
So we do Mexi Creole soul.
Yep.
I made that up.
I was gonna say it, but she beat me to it. It took me about a year to get it right, so
we made that up.
So
we do. Our menu will have our traditional stuff like our deep fried burritos and the brisket mac and tacos, nachos, and stuff. But we also do Creole. So we have red beans and rice. We have gumbo. We have our special. One of our specials will be jambalaya.
Oh, yeah.
We will also have
gumbo greens.
We have jerk chicken. I make my own jerk.
Yeah.
We have jerk. Actually, everything that we have, I can make in jerk. We have one guy who actually particularly comes and gets jerk brisket. He's the only person that does
only
it.
one.
What?
His name's
Really?
Mike.
Yep. And he gets it.
Explain to me your choices, Mike. I don't know. I'm sure it's good. I've just never thought of a jerk
He
brisket.
will turn around and get that, and then order a vegan rice bowl.
No, how do you make a jerk brisket? What's the process there? Is it? I don't know anything about food.
Oh, you won't know today.
No secrets. Darn it! I always try.
Nice try.
I always try. Well, as we're gearing up for this, I'm just excited because it's really cool when you see businesses working together.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's so many times everyone thinks that they're going to be the next billionaire.
No.
It's not going to happen.
I don't want to be a billionaire. We just want to survive.
Yeah, that's all. Just live. That's all.
And just be happy.
Yeah,
and
just live
that's it. You know,
watch the kids
less really
grow
is
and
more.
And
that's it. Just
thank you, because so many times it's like I talk to people and it's like the idea is, well, this is going to be the next Nashville. Okay, that's great, but you aren't going to get there with those ideas.
Right.
You just be comfortable with who you are, be comfortable in your shoes, and just make a business or anything you want to do successful for the community.
yeah. And that's it right there for the community.
That's
it's
it.
Small community, man.
So we took a break from doing our food giveaways because we do it in our food truck.
Right.
And it's cold, like I said.
Yeah.
So, and we were trying to figure out ways we could get back in there and start feeding the kids, during the winter time. But now that this is going on, it's kind of like not on the back burner, but we're going to take a month or two.
Well, you need to
get
things set up and that way, whenever it's all up and running, and you guys can take that time to, go and do those giveaways, because I can guarantee you, none of those kids are ever going to forget it.
No.
Not a doubt.
They see us now, be like, "Hey, you're a food truck guy."
And
yeah,
it wasn't.
So that's pretty cool.
I wanted to say too, you guys did something really cool, because when people do food giveaways, and I'm in the news, so I kind of know and get the press releases. It's not very good food a lot of the times.
No,
it's
crap.
It is. It is.
It's processed. It's
junk.
Genetically modified. We do hamburgers, cheeseburgers, hot dogs, chicken fajitas,
fresh pico.
That's what
things
I
like
thought
that.
was so cool. It wasn't like you were doing this as a photo op. You actually were providing great. I'm sure, and I trust me, if you've actually been in and saw, some of the disparities that are there, I'm sure for a lot of kids that was the best meal they've had in a long time.
And that's why we do it.
Yeah. And that's the thing.
Or the only meal, like when we came to the understanding that sometimes they don't get to eat.
When school's called off and things like that.
So I got in trouble because last 2 years when COVID ran, I was the only one that said, what about the kids that don't have any food at home or they're getting beaten by their parents? And all? I said, can we leave at least some part of the school open so they have a safe spot to go? And they all thought that I was just this crazy guy.
Ludicrous.
It had nothing to be about that. It was just about protecting those kids. And just like this, whether it's by feeding them or just making sure they're away from an abusive situation or a domestic dispute, that's a huge win. And just for those 30 minutes that they get to talk to you to pick up their food.
We get to love on them a little bit.
It's invaluable.
And, it's the best part because they know Miss Christie and Coach Hoover.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's
we always want to be that safe space.
Absolutely.
I think the Lord provides us a good opportunity to be
Yeah.
able to do that.
Absolutely.
But it's so important.
It really is.
The more the Lord give us, the more we're able to give back to the community. Period.
And you know,
that's our motto right there.
You're 100% right. And on top of this, as we're getting back to the big news that you guys partnered up, and I mean, did you ever think that you'd be in a brick and mortar?
Nope.
Because I remember
Actually,
talking
that
to you.
wasn't even my desire.
I know, because I remember we've talked about this years ago, and you said, why do I want a brick and mortar and pay all this rent and overhead whenever people call me for food?
Yeah.
But the fact that now the tide's changed to be a perfect situation.
Well, CJ, I've gotten older and I've gotten wiser.
10 years later on the body.
And what I do know is, okay, so food trucks, you don't typically see wintertime. You don't see, but we still have to make a living somehow.
Right, yeah.
I got an understanding that a lot of them just do DoorDash. Well, I didn't want to do that. And so I'm like, well, why not put yourself on DoorDash? And it was genius. And so then we kind of just started looking for a small space to where we could just have somewhere for DoorDash to pick up our food. And turns out that the space that we were going to get, we were really getting ready to compromise everything that, you know, we like to do just to get into the space, and it just wasn't worth it. And then so when we made the decision not to go into that one, this one, when I say fell in our laps, fell in our laps.
That's a tough situation to be in, though, because you, even though you know the compromise is coming and you know that it's going to be tight for a little bit, in your mind it's like, but we got to do this. So, I mean, could you describe maybe a little bit of what you did to navigate that? Because for a perspective, is that really what it was?
That's all we could do, because
really,
we were...
that was it. And then, like, 2 days later, you know, we didn't make no moves. We sat still. We prayed, sat still. Then 2 days later, all this started happening.
That's incredible. That's just incredible.
I said, it was by chance. A conversation with one person led to a conversation with another person. And we were getting our windows tinted. That's it.
That's all I was doing, getting the windows tinted. Just talking to people, getting our windows tinted.
Mm-hmm.
And that led to all of this.
I know where you got your windows tinted now. You saw my buddy Sean.
Yes, we did.
You're right.
We did.
Talking with Sean, and then he was like, yeah, man, you know, this, and that, go talk to them. Hey, you check this spot out? I was like, no, let's just walk over there. So we walked over there, and from that point on, it just kept going.
That's incredible. Do we know what our hours are going to be?
So for right now, until, you know, things may change depending on, you know, how everything works out. We don't know. We've never done this before.
Right. That's what I think's fun about this, too, is, and I like the honesty, because I think that's where the turmoil comes in from the general public sometimes is, you know, you put out on your Facebook, you know, here's your hours, here's what we're running with, but then if you aren't prepared for that, they expect you to be prepared for that.
Exactly.
And I like the honesty. Hey, this is new. We're going to figure this out.
Well, let me throw some more at you. We still have a food truck that we still plan on operating, so our hours are going to be flexible with that as well, because we have people who booked us last year. Going into summer, spring this year.
That's incredible.
And we have every intention on. Only time I have ever canceled is if one, I got sick, or weather, obviously.
When it's 120 degrees in the truck.
In a tin box, because you boil, you do.
Yes.
Boil or you freeze.
You boil or you freeze. So this is something new. We're gonna try to open around 11 or 12.
Okay.
The plan is to open at noon. Or 11, something like that. And then during the different days of the week, you know, that might vary. We're not going to be open on Mondays because we've never worked on Mondays. Tuesdays are smoking day.
It's like, hey, easy. You know who you're talking to.
We smoke meat on Tuesdays.
That makes one of us. That makes two of us.
And then, you know, so we plan to be open Wednesday through Sunday. However, Saturdays are our holy day.
Yes.
So we don't work on Saturdays.
Work on the Saturday
and that's just what it is.
Well, and I think that's really it's important to share that, because that way you really get to build that relationship with the community, and it's not just a consumer, consumer restaurant relationship. It's a actual relationship where they know, oh, hey, no, it's Saturday.
Yeah,
we aren't going over there.
Yeah.
Or it's Monday. They aren't there, and I think that's that neighborhood aspect that we're missing. And I've said it for years. It's back 40 years ago, people got things done in town because bar owners kind of collaborated, talked a little bit, and you just kind of grew that way. And then you had bar owner or a certain business owners saying, hey, I'm done with this business. Do you want to come into this building? Here, you
I
have it.
wish that was a thing.
Yeah, not anymore.
I wish that was a thing.
Man, on a small town, man, I don't see why it can't be like that.
Well,
I grew up in St. Louis, and it's like you have that. Like if you go to a sports club, Matthew Dickey, you have that community like that.
Yes.
Alton is so small, you should have that.
Right. And I've said it for years. Alton's a town made up of 7 islands because each ward's its own neighborhood, its own town, and it's got to get back to and not just Alton. Because they're going to think that I'm criticizing. I'm not.
We just happen to live here.
Exactly. That's what it is. But it's throughout the Riverbend region. I've never understood. It's like this whole question mark of. You realize that every town is under 30,000 people in population, or
that's
right around 35,000. If you want to be accurate.
We're walking around like we're the stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
like that's always said. I get so mad because people are flying down these roads at 9 a.m. It's like you aren't in New York going to a business meeting with Chase Bank. You're going to go see your dog groomer. Slow down.
You're taking your dog to the dog park for a walk. So, and they flying by you, man.
And that's why I'm so glad to hear your insights on this, because I think whenever I was thinking about our interview, I wanted the public to really know who you two are as people, because there is no couple, in my opinion, in terms of new business owners that have that traditional business owner sense that very few have in town, like the Johnson's Corners of the world and all those folks that did it the old school way. Old school is coming back, and that's the way it needs to be, because that's the most successful.
It was never broken.
No.
It was never broken. People broke it.
Yes.
The system works. Like, whatever that is, but
open to your interpretation.
But all what I'm saying is we grow better together.
That's right.
The hardest thing for a food truck person is finding commissary. So you have to have a kitchen that you can tell the health department, this is where we keep our cold food, this is where we cook our hot food, and this is where
Unless you're Popeyes.
Oh my goodness! Don't.
No.
Sorry, been kind of vocal about that.
Sorry, I've only called for a year now.
I've been very vocal about that on the Facebooks.
Yeah,
and so it is what it is. But and so I think now growing forward, my goal is to alleviate that need. We need ghost kitchens.
Yes. Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
And so my goal. Growing forward, that's what my next mission will be. My next mission will be to provide a space for these small-time cottage caterers or
there's a lot of them out there.
Caterers and stuff like I started.
Right.
A lot of them out there.
And it's a tough thing to start.
It is.
And you do it, but I was talking to Linda Pedersen, who was my safe food specialist.
I miss Linda.
Yeah, once a month, Linda comes on the show and we do a segment that she sponsors. By the way, thank you for bringing that up. You didn't, I did. But we're going to take a break. We're coming back in March and doing a new Food for Thought segment that's actually really fun and more of a vlog based, where we're going to go to your restaurants.
Nice.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, so we'll have some fun with Linda.
That's nice.
Whenever we were sitting there and just kind of, talking about things, I really think for that aspect alone of the ghost kitchen, for the chili cook-offs that everyone wants to do, because they're great ideas and they make a lot of money.
They do.
But you have a health department that was being just way too strict about this, because, in my opinion, if you're going to pay for the chili, then you better pay for the consequence of it turning out bad.
That's it.
That's it. What I'm saying?
Simple as that.
Anyway, it's just...
but we just need to... There's so many people who have great food businesses, food concepts, food ideas, and they don't have the space. And you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And we run
the health
across them
department
all
don't
the
want
time.
you doing it in your house. So.
And what I think is a big testament to both of you is that you aren't click people.
No.
Never have been.
No.
You are folks that just help. You're genuine, and if someone's genuine to you, you're genuine back to them regardless.
We match energy very well.
Well, and
Yes, we do.
And whenever they call you, though, they aren't going to get somebody. They don't have to call their friend anymore or find that person that knows somebody that can get them into a kitchen. Eventually, they'll be able to say, "Hey, I'm starting out. I really need some space. Can I utilize it?" And then you almost get a mentor in itself, because there's two people that have done this before, and they're sitting right in front of me.
There's no need in reinventing the wheel.
Yep.
Can you imagine if you have that opportunity for so many small businesses around here, there's surrounding areas, and then at the same time you build on that and have fairs for those particular businesses. Like you say, chili cook-offs and so on and so on. There's so many opportunities if you just don't be greedy about it and just bring the community in just to have some fun as a community.
And, you know, I don't know what you think about this, but I've always thought people need to ask the question, whether you're in business or whether you're just a normal, regular, 9-to-5 office worker, what do you want your role in the community to be? Who defines you in the community? Because if you think that your end-all, be-all goal is to be the richest guy in town, good luck, because there's about 28,000 other people that are looking to be that too.
Exactly.
So find your role. Find who you are in town and find what fits you. And don't try to shake the deal too hard. Just be a part of the team and just grow together and have civil conversations.
That's going to be your new phrase.
Yeah.
That's going to be your new phrase.
What's that?
Grow together.
Grow together. No, I like yours. Growing forward. I really.
Growing forward.
I think that is such an important quote too. And so, with that being said, damn, we're already out of time. It's 10:59.
Oh
wow.
Sorry.
Always
we just start
fun.
talking and then we just kind of keep going. Let's talk grand opening. What day again?
February 4th, Sunday. 12 o'clock until we either sell out or we don't want to do it no more.
And where are we located at Eastgate Plaza?
99 Eastgate Plaza, East Alton, Illinois.
There we go. We're out of time.
All right.
I will see you all tomorrow live for our daily show. We got a busy show again, but thank both of you for your time.
Thank you for having us again.
Thank you all for hanging out with me. On that note, have a great day, and until tomorrow, try your best to stay out of jail.